Donald Trump has opened a new front in the US-China trade war. The battleground is artificial intelligence, and caught in the crossfire is Nvidia, the tech company. It makes the world's most popular AI chips. It powers the world's most used AI apps, from ChatGPT to China's DeepSeek. They all run on Nvidia. Apparently, more than 35,000 companies use Nvidia to build AI, and now Nvidia is at the center of the US-China rivalry. Their CEO is a man called Jensen Huang. He has made a major gamble. Huang has gone to China. In the middle of all of this, he landed in Beijing yesterday, and this trip came out of the blue. The timing could not have been worse. A few days ago, Trump issued an order. He banned Nvidia from selling a special kind of chip, a chip called the H20. Again, this is an AI chip. Nvidia built it specifically for China. They built it to evade Joe Biden's export controls. Remember, when Biden was president, he had banned the sales of advanced AI chips to China. So the H20 chip was a workaround, a less powerful chip that complied with America's export curbs. But then Trump has added to those curbs, and he has effectively banned the sale of H20 chips to China. These chips were in huge demand. Chinese tech giants had placed large orders for H20. The likes of Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, they'd all ordered chips worth $18 billion. That's a big chunk of revenue for Nvidia, 18 billion. Last year, China accounted for over 17 billion of this company's earnings. That's more than 19% of Nvidia's global earnings, and the revenue from H20 alone is $1 billion higher, 18 billion. So you can imagine how much this ban hurts Nvidia. Their earnings will take a hit, a $5.5 billion hit. And the full exit will be even more painful. But that's where we are headed if Trump has his way.
Right, but the tariffs will be in place in the not distant future because, as you know, like we did with steel, like we did with automobiles, like we did with aluminum, which are now fully on, we'll be doing that with semiconductors, with chips, and numerous other things. And we wanted to uncomplicate it from a lot of other companies because we want to make our chips and semiconductors and other things in our country.
He doesn't want China to get access to advanced technology. But the Nvidia boss is not ready to give up yet. That's Jensen Huang. He met with Chinese trade groups and leaders today, and he gave them an assurance. He called China, and I'm quoting, a very important market for Nvidia. And he said that he wants to continue cooperating with Chinese firms. Chinese mouthpieces have carried some quotes. This is what they've said. Nvidia would spare no effort to build compliant products and unswervingly serve the Chinese market. Apparently, that's what Jensen Huang told the Chinese. The message was diplomatic, but the intention was unmistakable. Nvidia is not walking away. Despite Washington's restrictions, despite growing scrutiny from both sides, this company is exploring options. It is looking to develop another chip, a new product that will comply with Trump's new restrictions. At the same time, Jensen Huang has been lobbying the US government. Before the latest crackdown, he met President Trump. Huang attended a dinner at Mar-a-Lago. This was an exclusive event with a price tag of $1 million per plate. And that same week, Nvidia committed to massive investments in the US. It will build 2 supercomputer factories. Nvidia will spend $500 billion on this. And Trump himself welcomed the news.
Nvidia, as you know, controls that almost the entire sector, which is one of the most important sectors in the world, between chips and semiconductors and everything else. And they're the biggest. It's one of the great companies of the world. Modern, super modern companies, controls segments that nobody, sort of controls the world in a sense. And they're coming in here in the biggest way with hundreds of billions of dollars. Not like millions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. And I'm honored by it.
But Nvidia still needs China for growth. Before the export curbs, 20% of the company's revenue came from China. Now it will go down to 10%. And experts believe that soon it can fall, and I'm quoting, to close to zero. That's going to be a big dent in Nvidia's bottom line, because while these AI chips are in high demand, they're also quite expensive. Only a handful of markets in the world can afford these chips. So Nvidia is trying to stay in both camps, but the space for neutrality is increasingly shrinking. Since last year, China has been preparing for a future without Nvidia. Chinese regulators are advising their tech companies. The guidance is unofficial, but it's firm. Avoid Nvidia, switch to domestic alternatives. Chinese firms are being nudged towards homegrown chips. So the intent is clear on both sides. America wants to block China's tech strides, and China wants to control its AI future, a future without Nvidia. Jensen Huang is keeping a foot in the door, but he's at the mercy of President Trump. In this trade war, there may be no middle ground.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.